We got to take a look at the final frontier of board games with Star Trek Ascendancy from Gale Force 9 Games. They've brought us a lot of good games, including the Firefly game and the WWE game, which we played last Gen Con, which we both found to be very surprisingly enjoyable.
Right. And so, yeah, and coming from Firefly, we thought they did right by one sci-fi franchise. What are they going to do with this other one? This is very different from Firefly. I'll just start out by saying the game, they described it as a 4X game, so it is that kind of thing. One of the people watching said, oh, it looks like Twilight Imperium. I thought, oh, it kind of sounds like Eclipse, which from us is both of those are a little scary. This is a heavy game. It is definitely, if you want to dive into the Star Trek universe, you can do it here. It is currently for the base is for 3 players.
Not up to 3.
Right.
3.
3. And I believe it's Romulans, Klingons, and Federation.
Yeah.
And they also said there are expansions in the works. The next ones are coming out are Ferengis and Cardassians, so that should be interesting. But basically, you all have little ships. You're expanding. You're exploring planets. You have resources. But I think the big cool thing about it that the demo guy was really showing off was the way you explore planets. When you find a new system, it can move after you find it. It's kind of hard to explain.
There's little, you attach your arm, or get space paths or arms to them. But because, these planets are round and sort of they're tiles, they rotate, so everything can sort of...
Right, so if someone else finds a path to it from a different area, they might actually move it to fit to how far away it is. And sometimes if they don't find a path that's long enough, they just can't make it there. So it's possible to be stranded from other people or forced to meet early. One of the things that I did like that I asked about compared to I'm hoping Eclipse, which I've found kind of very intimidating, is that combat is not the only option in this. It is a Star Trek game, so there's also a lot about exploration and building up your culture. It's actually how you win. It's called culture points, or culture tokens, or something. So I like that that's one of the options. And of course they have a lot of event cards that can occur that are some of which straight from the TV shows. I think the base seemed like it was all original series, but the next races they talked about obviously were not from Next Generation. So I'm not sure if there is other later stuff mixed in there or not.
I mean, it'd be definitely interesting to see, and that's not even including the movies and stuff. Which have they even touched on any of those races outside the Federation?
I don't
think they have.
So. But so yeah, there's. I mean, obviously it's Star Trek. They have tons of avenues for expansions there. It seemed fun. I think if you like those kinds of games, those 4X games, or you like Star Trek, this will definitely fit the bill. And it'll probably also appeal more to me just for the theming, which they do.
I'm very curious because, as you said you don't have to win with combat.
Right.
But I know plenty of games that say that. But if one person goes heavy combat, they sort of just wreck.
That's interesting. Well, according to the guy, some people, he said, have won while actually never even contacting any other players. He said that was pretty boring, but it's maybe possible. So, yeah, we'll see in practice whether or not that holds true. But
well, the other reason I'm curious about that is when people usually compare Star Trek, to many of the other, Star Wars, Firefly, it's not as, I would say, competitive. Usually it's the diplomatic people,
Right, it's more of the cerebral, thinky kind of show.
So I'm very curious to see how the fans in particular play. Are they gonna try to play like that, or will they just want to go full combat? And
to be fair, I mean, if you're Klingons or Romulans,
oh, that's true.
That is your thing, and each of the races, of course, has special abilities and things that make it really feel like you are playing as that races. Which is great. So this was for sale at Gen Con, and I think you'll be able to get a copy of it really soon. I think they've got another hit, albeit a heavy hit.
Well, it's what you'd expect from Star Trek.
Probably. You're gonna be thinking.
We got plenty more Gen Con news coming, so you better stay up to date at Roll for Crit at Twitter, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and just subscribing right here.
And, of course, you can find us on our very own website, rollforcrit.com/GenCon 2016 for all our videos, photos, and more. Stay tuned.